Welcome back to some of the best stories from r/TalesFromTechSupport. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's take a look at the first story. It's called Made Him Happy. I used to work for a satellite television service company as an in-home technician. One day I went to an elderly gentleman's home to fix his television service. We talked for a while, and he even showed me his Game Boy Pocket, in excellent condition, with Tetris and Link's Awakening. He said he played it often to help keep his fingers nimble and his mind sharp. As a gamer myself, I thought this was really cool. I was impressed that he kept it in such great condition all these years. After I fixed his issue, I noticed a box with some unusual earbuds. They looked like hearing aids, and asked him about it. He said he has difficulty with his hearing, and those were designed to help with hearing the TV, but he had them for 2 years and never was able to get them working. I asked if I could try, and he said sure. After some tinkering, I asked him to put them on. His face just lit up and said he could hear the TV. The look of pure elation on his face moved even my old craggy heart. He was so thankful. He tried to give me his Game Boy and games as a reward. I expressed my appreciation and politely declined, as I could never take such treasures away from him. It also saddened me that this guy lived alone, and for 2 years nobody helped this man with something I thought to be fairly simple. But I am glad he now can hear his TV clearly. The next story is called Monitor Desyncs. Our director has a laptop plugged into a docking station with 2 monitors. Over the past 2 years, randomly throughout the day, one of his monitors will go black. A few seconds will pass and it will come back on, showing the input logo. This happens with us too, but a lot less frequently. I was brought into his department with no prior professional experience in IT, just someone who loves tech, builds computers, ran private servers for games, etc. My senior techs could never figure out why it was happening. Neither could my admins, and I tried really hard for about 6 months before he apologized for wasting my time and to let him try to forget about it. This poor guy has had 5 different laptops, docking stations and monitor sets from both Lenovo and Dell, and still has the same problem, even when he's at home. I figured it out yesterday on accident and no one believed me, until I proved it multiple times. It's our chairs. The gas lift pistons in our office chairs generate enough static to cause an EMI. The docks aren't shielded very well from it, and it desyncs the display cables. I shock myself all the time at the office after getting up. Yesterday I touched a broken laptop on my desk and shocked myself, and my monitor desynced at the same time. This thing was on the opposite side of my desk from my laptop and dock. I reproduced it 10 times in a row. Every time I got shocked on my desk, it went out. Started shifting around in my chair a bunch, monitor goes out. Switched out the chair. This is no longer happening. The third story is called Simplest Solution. I'm the IT director, helpdesk tech, lead developer, network engineer for a small marketing firm. In reality, my title is IT Director, simply because it's easier to command the attention of vendors and such. If you have a fancy sounding title, I'm in charge of literally the entire department, as my promotion to IT Director came with us laying off the rest of the department within a month of me getting promoted. I started with 2 devs and a Linux server admin under me. I've been the IT Director here for 6 years now, and while the majority of my time here has been run-of-the-mill standard day-to-day duties, every once in a while I end up with a story. Today is another one of those days. Here at work we've got this software we wrote, a web-based referral program for banks. Person A goes in, refers person B. When person B opens a new account, both of them get a reward. Simple concept. Now, I had literally nothing to do with writing this particular piece of software. At the time when it was being written, I was working as a dev, working on another project. This didn't stop them from trying to fire me once when it quit working though. One of our banks has a lot of senior citizen customers who don't have email addresses, so they tend to give those people account credit instead of using our reward portal. Since they don't have email addresses, our software makes one up for them, using their customer information number, a thing the bank creates, and a fake email domain name. that combines the customer ID of our client and the name of the application, separated by an underscore. This is simply so the software works as intended, because everything is tracked by email addresses. But these fake emails are just an arbitrary thing we came up with. Unfortunately, the box standard email validation code that is built into MVC rejects underscores in email addresses. So our old dev team and marketing team came together and formulated the genius solution of turning off email validation entirely. You can guess what kind of mess that has led to. Keep in mind, this is a system that is driven by email addresses. Everything is linked to the email addresses of the referring person and the referred person. At one point, I was spending a full 25% of my day just fixing invalid email addresses in the system. This has been going on for over 8 years, and since I took over as IT director, I've been asking to get clearance to fix the problem, but management wasn't having it, because they were too scared it would negatively impact business. Fast forward to now. At the beginning of this month, we onboarded a new bank, and it's been a nightmare. They are one of the biggest clients we've ever had, and the amount of invalid data they've been putting into the system is triple what we were dealing with before. Our customer service manager basically threw up her hands and told the CEO she'd quit if this didn't get fixed, because she couldn't get anything else done. She was literally spending her entire day dealing with customer issues from this one client. So after years of waiting, I have finally been tasked with solving this conundrum. Today was the first chance I'd really had to look at this part of the application before. But once I found the code and realized what was happening, it literally took me 30 seconds to figure out what multiple people couldn't seem to figure out nearly 10 years ago. When this was all written, I changed the code that creates the fake email domain to use a hyphen instead of an underscore. Now the email validation works, and the fake domain names don't fail the validation check anymore. The last story is called Kevin. This happened many years ago, and over a period of 2 months, a new guy started in the accounting department. I shall call him Kevin. Kevin kept his browser bookmarks in a Word document and would copy and paste links to and from this document. I showed him how to make bookmarks in Edge, but he would forget how the moment he closed the browser. The Word doc method worked well enough, so I just left him alone. Our staff intranet is set as the default start page in Edge, so it opens when you open the browser. But when Kevin wanted to access the intranet, he would open Edge, completely ignore the page that just opened, and then copy and paste the intranet link from his Word document into a new tab. He would often have 2 intranet tabs open whenever he called me over. By some miracle, he never typed Google into the Google search field. All desks have a universal docking station, where monitors and other accessories are plugged in, so you only need to plug in a single cable into your computer. For some reason, Kevin would unplug the mouse and keyboard receivers from the dock before he went home. Then he would call me the next day, because his mouse and keyboard weren't working. I explained multiple times that he didn't need to unplug them, but he kept doing it. I got tired of this, so I waited for him to leave his desk and plug the receivers into the back of one of his monitors, where he couldn't see them. I have no idea why he kept unplugging them, but he stopped when he could no longer see them. Kevin needed some accounting software to do his job, but would always forget how to open it. I tried pinning the icon to the taskbar and showing him how to click on it, but he would call me the next day because he couldn't find the icon. So I came up with a cunning plan. He had no problem opening his Word doc on the desktop, so I took a screenshot of the taskbar, added a red arrow that pointed to the icon, and inserted the screenshot at the top of his Word document. That solved the problem. Until a few days later, he had somehow managed to pin another icon to the taskbar. He had pinned it to the far right of all the other icons, so they were all still in the same spot in the screenshot, and the red arrow was still pointing to the same place. But you see, now the taskbar had one extra icon on it, and therefore it didn't look like the one in the screenshot. So now he was afraid to click anything. I just updated the screenshot. He tried working from home, but could not figure out how to connect to his Wi-Fi. He brought a note to work with the Wi-Fi name and password, and I manually added it to his computer so that it would connect automatically when he got home. But of course, he also had to connect to the company VPN. We gave him a very detailed guide with pictures and stayed on the phone with him the whole time, but it was hopeless. He just gave up on working from home. These were the things that stood out, but Kevin called almost every day about other minor things. He was actually a really nice guy. He was always friendly, and he really did try hard to learn. He wasn't challenged in any way and seemed very intelligent when you spoke to him. He was just completely useless when it came to computers. After 2 months of this, Kevin came to the IT office to deliver his computer. He thanked me for all the help and said that he was going to pursue different opportunities elsewhere. I have no idea if he quit or was fired, but I do hope things went well for him. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.